go to the doctor's, low back pain. We call this a human head, pelvis, legs, say you're sitting. Number 1 is low back pain, and then 2 is neck pain. Those are big deals. The back is everything. It's the end-all be-all to our movement. And so if you're having problems there, for sure stay and talk to me today so we can at least kind of hammer out some things that you can do to manage that. But if you are a desk jockey or you're somebody who travels a lot for work, this is a problem. This posture right here in this person is kind of how we live. And this does not work for the spine. As you can see, it's kind of somebody slumpy. Usually their head is a little bit forward, their shoulders are rolled forward. What happens in this position if you spend 8 hours a day here or anywhere even from 2 hours? You've gone to the movies and gotten up and felt a little stiff. I'm assuming most of you have felt that before. But if forces are applied to this, if I push and push with gravity and body weight, all the forces go this way. That does not work for the human body in a way. If you're in good posture, this is somebody who sits upright or people in the military, we created this scenario so that as forces are applied, they're offset. Right? So this is why everybody harps on you have to have good posture. So if you're that person who sits slumpy, rolls your shoulders forward, have somebody challenge you. Give you feedback or some cueing. Or if you're at a desk job, make sure you get up, move, stretch, stand. The body just needs something different than this. So this can't happen for 8 hours a day. It can't happen 2 hours in a car without some consequence occurring to this. So one of the things we've been talking about is, why is this a problem? Well, this creates a problem here. Number 1, I don't know how many people have tight hip flexors in here or dominant hip flexors, but I bet every one of you raises your hand. It's a big, big deal, especially if you sit a lot. Why? Because these just shorten. Short muscles are strong muscles. Great, except that now how many of you guys have heard about glutes? You got to work on your glutes, and your glutes are weak. And glutes. Glutes are a big deal because they offset hip flexor tightness and strength. So in this position, that becomes a problem. And then I want to know how many of you have shoulder issues, or at least know of people who have shoulder issues. This is where this comes from. If you're in this posture right here, then this is another weak link in the chain. The rest of the shoulder movement, when you get your shoulder up above, so we're talking snatch, we're talking overhead squat, you guys demand it all the time, push and load it, like hundreds of pounds of weight and force. If you can't get your shoulder back there, you're in trouble. You'll force it to make it happen, right? But it's definitely, you will pay a price. And the problem is that if you're here in this position and not in this position, this is where the shoulder gets the rest of its range of motion. And so one of the things I felt like a lot of people are missing is T-spine mobilization. You guys mobilize your T-spine, that thoracic spine right between your shoulder blades fairly frequently?
I did it twice this year so far.
Twice, awesome, love it. And so everybody's like, oh, why would I do that? I need to focus on my calf or my hip or my whatever. But I'm telling you, the end-all, be-all to movement, especially when we're talking overhead, and especially for those of you who have shoulder issues, is making sure that you can be in this neutral position. And most people at this stage cannot, especially if you have a desk job. So T-spine mobility, if you're going to ask me what's the first thing I ought to mobilize or the first thing I need to target just so that you have efficiency of movement, it's T-spine. Everybody understand what I mean by that? Like right between the shoulder blades. This little, when you see those people kind of slumpy, humped back right here, and you can do that with a foam roll. You can do it with the little peanut. You can do it with the PVC. And if you're needing to, at the end of this, stay. I'll show you some ways that you can do that and exactly how you should target that. Because it is a little bit tricky, and it's usually not very comfortable. But as you know, mobility really isn't anyway. When you get into IT band, you get into the hip and glutes, it's just not fun, no matter what.